Hey guys, a lot of relapse going on lately. I just wanted to share my thoughts and experience on uh, learning about the early stages and warning signs of a relapse and understanding that it doesn't just happen all of a sudden. It's gradual. Relapse is gradual. It's like a stone rolling down a mountain. It needs momentum to get stronger, and then boom, then you relapse. If you don't understand relapse, you feel like it's all of a sudden it just happened. I just relapsed. No, it didn't happen that way. You were falling backwards. Emotionally, it's three stages. You have emotional, mental, then a physical relapse. Your emotional state is taking care of yourself. If you're living a dirty life, you can't stay clean. That's a fact. You can't eat crappy. You can't eat too little. You can't not get enough sleep. You have to get good sleep. You have to rest. You have to eat right. Um, you also have to share your feelings when you're feeling like crap. You need to talk to people about it. You need to not isolate yourself. You need to take care of yourself, and that's the beginning stages of an emotional relapse, because you're in denial. You're telling yourself everything's just fine. I can handle all this, but you're not eating right. You're not sleeping well. You're not going to meetings anymore. You're pushing it all under a rug. You're sweeping it all under a rug. All your stress and problems and things like that. So it's starting out real slow. You're slowly letting yourself fall apart, and that's when you start being uncomfortable in your own skin again. Because why did we use to begin with? There's another issue going on. We don't just do it for fun. There's an underlying issue or many issues that you got to address and take care of. So that's what we got through with getting into recovery and getting clean to begin with. We dealt with our underlying issue or issues. Now, we get clean, we stay clean for a while. Relapse, in Latin, it just means falling back, slip back. That's what it is. Relapse is slipped back. Returning to a disease that you had temporary improvement on. That's what relapse is. So you were doing well, then you fall back. Yes. So the emotional relapse triggers into a mental relapse, because then you start lying, bargaining with people, and justifying poor behaviors and minimizing your old poor behaviors. So, it wasn't that bad. That's when you're at war with yourself. The emotional relapse triggers into your mental relapse. Then you start planning it. Oh, I'm going to get me a sack. I'm going to get me, some pills. I'm going to get a bottle here. And you try planning on how you're going to get away with it. That's when it's mental. The physical speaks for itself. You start doing it. Then it's over. Usually once you get to the mental part, it's hard to go back. You have to tell on yourself. I made a video about that, telling on yourself. It's huge. I do it all the time when I think about something. I nip it right in the butt. I don't want to get to that point. Let me start planning it and stuff like that. I'm done. Relapse for me is death. I don't have any other way to put it. I have to remember how I was when I was messed up. Last time I used heavy drugs, I almost didn't wake up. I woke up and I couldn't breathe. I was overdosing. Last time I drank, I wasn't even planning on drinking, and I went out to the bar, I got wasted, and almost nearly made it home. I didn't make it home. I made it to a tree and then a hospital. So the last 2 times I got messed up on the alcohol and the drugs, I almost died. And I remember that every single time. Last time I took a drink, my face went through a windshield. So that really keeps me from getting to that mental part. The emotional, sure, that's why I say I work out all the time. And I try and eat right. I tell on myself whenever. I share my feelings with people. It helps me stay clean. So if you guys are getting into that state where you're not taking care of yourself, you're not resting, and you quit going to meetings, you don't talk to people about it anymore, that's dangerous. That's where your relapse is starting. It doesn't just just happen. I encourage people to stay away from those people, places, and things. You know you can't just have one. One is too many, and 1,000's never enough. Yep, that's what they always say in NA. And it's true. We can't just have just one. Are you kidding me? That's not how it works. So the relapse is going on out there, all preventable. It's not the end of the world in most cases, but it can be. It can be the end of your world, and that's the last thing I want to see happen to any of you out there. Is another Amber Herbert who reached out on Rockstar, and God rest her soul. One of her relapses was her last. And we have to remember these things. We have to remember what we were like at our worst. And nip it in the butt. When we start thinking about it, call somebody. Go to a meeting. Share that with people. They've heard it. They understand. Yeah, I think about using it all the time. But I always talk about it. I always bring it up. I always come to a meeting and share it. And when you don't, you sit at home and you isolate yourself. You let it fester. You start getting irritable. And you're like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I don't give a shit anymore. Then you're done. Then you're done. The mental part comes in and you start playing it. You know what? I wonder if he's still got shit. And you find him, look him up, message him. Think about message him for a while. And you send it. I'm just telling you. Don't get to that point. Tell on yourself. It doesn't just happen. It's a gradual thing. So, and for all of you all that have relapsed lately or thinking about it, don't let that discourage you. Let that motivate you. Let that be a fuel for your fire to get back up and make it happen. Okay, so you stumbled, you fell. Now pick yourself back up. Let's do it again. You know how to do it. Now let's work on what's been bothering you. Let's go talk to somebody about it. Don't have to go back into inpatient treatment. Not the case for everybody. But I do encourage some therapy, maybe some outpatient classes, some aftercare. Just call up your counselor, somebody. But there's still something there. Or something new has built up. We could get clean, fix our underlying issues, then all of a sudden we have new ones because life happens. Stress builds up. That's normal. We all think about using and drinking and relapsing, but you got to do something about it. You have to have a healthy action plan in place. Something to take care of yourself daily. We're going to have crappy days. It's going to happen, but we have to have people in recovery we can talk to. That's what the programs are for. That's what Rockstar's for here. You reach out. Anybody can message me anytime. I'm busy, but yes, I do get back to every single person that messages me. They'll tell you that. You can reach out to any of our administrators. Really, just reaching out and saying something is huge. It'll make you feel better. It'll let everyone know that, hey, you're not wanting to use, but your brain's telling you to use. So we can do something about it. We can get you some help. Video's been long enough, almost 9 minutes. I'm going to cut it short. There'll be more on relapse. Relapse is huge. So don't want it to happen to any of you guys, but it does. I understand. It's not part of recovery, but it's not the end of recovery. You can get back up. So be careful with thinking like, oh, it happens, you know. Well, guess what? It happened to several of my friends and people I know, and they're not here to talk about it anymore. We had to bury them. So it's very serious. Take it seriously. God loves you. I love you. Take it easy. And, hoo-day!